All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Let's get into this lesson. As you can see, it says Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes divorced in 2012, with Katie granted primary custody of their daughter, Siri. As part of the settlement, Tom reportedly agreed to pay around $400,000 a year in child support, a commitment he has continued to honor. Since the separation, he has not been seen with Siri, choosing to keep that part of his life out of view. Over the years, reports have suggested that deep differences in belief and lifestyle created lasting distance as Katie raised Siri largely away from Hollywood and the spotlight. Now a grown Siri is beginning to shape her own future while Tom remains publicly silent. Their story is a quiet reminder that fame and success cannot guarantee closeness, and that some losses are not measured in money or charisma bonds that fade and never fully return. Now here's the thing. The story isn't necessarily about this bond or whatever. This lesson more so is going to be about no matter how much money you have, right? Even as a man in Babylon, even if you're a so-called high-value man in Babylon, the things of this world are still will rot, right? Because not only is Tom Cruise a very rich man, but that didn't stop him from getting divorced. Same thing with Bill Gates, and we don't know how that relationship is with Bill Gates and that stuff, right? But even these billionaires are getting divorced, right? So a lot of people will say, you gotta get your money up to get a woman. And it is important to have money, but not necessarily for yourself, but not necessarily for a woman, I mean, Slovakia, but to have money for yourself, right? Because even if you do have all the money in the world, a woman will still leave you. There is the creator of Minecraft named Notch. He got divorced, right? And his billions couldn't keep the woman. This is why, as a man, men don't really have power in their household of what they want. Because if you have a man saying he wants his children to be raised up in this way, and you have the wife or the woman saying she wants the children to be raised up this way in Babylon, it's usually going to go the woman's way, which really should be the man's way. So let's get the scripture out. It says, Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, right? And the thing is, part of the treasures of laying yourself up on earth is trying to become rich in Babylon, trying to keep a woman that don't want to stay, right? And trying to chase a career, right? Or trying to, chase a career, go to college for, which there's nothing wrong with going to college and having a career, right? The thing is, you'll see to where a man will make enough money in his field and he'll keep trying to go up, 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 and up. When in Babylon, we are to lead a simple life. Now, of course, it's not a sin to, upgrade in life, right? But remember, Yahweh Shai needs to be our focus. It says right here, a man and wife that agree, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 1, and three things I was beautified and stood up and beautiful both before Yahweh and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together. And as you can see, they did not agree together, right? According to this. And this is a big thing, because a lot of the time is that men, also besides from the story, a lot of the time is that men often are more conservative, right? Men are more structural, while women are more chaotic, right? So a lot of times you'll have a man that's more conservative in his nature, while a woman is more chaotic in her nature. So she'll want things that are not of the Lord, or she'll easily believe in things that are not of the Lord, right? So let's get this out. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. I return us all under the sun, that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. Right? Exactly. This is why the only thing that's guaranteed, or the only help that is guaranteed, is from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Right? Because, your money will not be able to save you. Right? Your woman can leave you at any time. Right? And there may come a time where you may have to disown your children, especially when the C-hip comes out, right? And next thing you know, you may have to cut off your friends, you may have to cut off your wife, you may have to cut off even your children when the C-hip comes out, and you may have to disown them all, right? But this is why, even if they're not faithful, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is faithful. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Right. And that's the thing too, is that, a lot of these women, they're very wicked. And it's very rare to find a woman that has a straight head on her shoulders. And usually a woman that does have a straight head on her shoulders usually has a dad in her life. Or what'll happen is she's usually under a righteous man. Right? Which, really the real righteous men are the men of GMS. We teach the Bible correctly. So a lot of these women are walking around without a head. But that's going to change soon, when Yahweh Shai brings judgment. So if this lesson was edifying, God praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Shalom.